You remember how they had to put Chunk's hand in that blender? Well, they didn't have to. They decided. They said, listen, bucko, you better tell us the truth. Tell us your entire story while we sing opera to you. And he goes, okay. And he goes, all right. I went to bed. I don't even know what he's talking. So he goes in here with his hand, and he's afraid of this blender. She goes, I didn't talk about this much, but I made a computer program that I did not release to the public. I kept it for myself. And maybe someday I'll put it out there to the public or put it on a website or something. But here's what it does. It tells me everything in music theory that's relevant, and it removes any redundancy. So it says, guess what, Alan? If we remove all this redundancy, there's really only like 90 chords in music. So I ran that back into the program, and I said, tell me what scales contain the chords, right? And then it made a list, and I have a list. And that's where I get these cards. If you were wondering, what the hell are these cards on the screen? I'm wearing the Chunk. This is like that truffle shuffle. Look at. He does that truffle shuffle thing. Truffle shuffle. All right, guys, here's the thing. I have a problem with this shirt. Guys, notice it, but on this side, if you have the shirt open, don't worry, I won't open my shirt. God forbid, you see my stomach. On this side, it'll say, Negril or something. I don't even know where it is. And on this side, it says Montego Bay. However, that's written on this extra fabric that's inside here. But when you button it, and this seems to be on purpose, it says something different. And I can't wear this shirt in public because of that. So unfortunately, my Goonies shirt is a no-go outside the house or on stage. It is what it is, guys. We deal with what we deal with. So anyway, minor chord. We're just going to do a quick overview. It's going to be kind of like episode 1 where we do a brief overview, and then you guys can explore it, and then in the future, with other episodes, we'll look into it in further detail. So let's say, for instance, we play an A minor chord. It's just an A minor triad. It's A, C, E. And we say, all right, what are our options? Well, if you're pretty good with the major scale, you already know your 3 major scale options, which would be C major scale, F major scale, and G major scale. They all contain an A minor chord. It's pretty simplistic. This is already a C major scale, Aeolian mode, all right? Meaning tonal center is A. And if we play the F major scale with the A tonal center, that's A Phrygian. All right, if we play the G major scale with an A tonal center, that's A Dorian. You could play the harmonic minor on the 1, the 3rd, and the 5th. You could play A harmonic minor. If you move up to the major 3rd above your A, you could play harmonic minor there. It contains an A minor chord, C sharp harmonic minor. So you get. Isn't that weird? So that's an option you could screw around with. Also the 5, so if you go to E harmonic minor, E harmonic minor also has that A minor chord within it. You know what, I also look like a little bit like, this is horrible to say, but I'm looking a little bit like that dude from Jurassic Park. Did he have glasses on? The guy who was that Newman, Wayne Knight? He got spit on by that bastard, that dinosaur. He came over and spit right in his, that son of a bitch. I felt bad for him. I wanted him to escape for some reason. You know why? Because I didn't care for the scientist doctor guy who was like, who made the island. Well, he didn't make the island. The guy, not Dr. Moreau. That's a whole other story with those animals shaking on the ground. Now, if you remember the last episode, we did that melodic minor scale. The minor chord has melodic minor options also. It's on the 1. And it's also on the flat 7. So G, melodic minor, contains an A minor chord. So those are some options. That's it. There's only 2 melodic minor options for any minor triad. And the guy, you remember that Dr. Moreau where he goes, if there is no, what did he say? There's no pain, is there no law? Because the animals broke free. Or they weren't even animals, they were like humans crossed with animals. The harmonic major scale, you have it on the 5 and on the sharp 5. So it's a half step away, which means if you do any kind of lick with harmonic major on the 5, so E harmonic major, you could also do it in F harmonic major, and it would both contain an A minor chord. So this is something I haven't really heard happened in songs before. The F harmonic major also contains an A minor. So you could do a phrase like this. You could go E harmonic major, right into an F harmonic major. So if you went, you could run those back to back and they all contain A minor chord. So that might give you some really cool different options you haven't explored before. So give that a shot. You know, let's do this pick. I was doing an ultimate speed pick with a dude. He said, Alan, we're gonna make you your own guitar picks. And he made it, he kind of took this idea, it looks like the stylus pick. Remember that? I actually liked that stylus pick. I got really good at it when I used to use it. What this does is it allows you to pick really fast, but the thing is, if you pick too deep, it stops. There you go. It stops the pick from moving. It gets stuck, which is kind of a cool invention. I like that stylus pick. But I used to practice one of these all the time. It's still pretty quick. Of course, you could do your pentatonic minor type of thing over your A on the root. So whenever you have a minor chord, pentatonic minor works on it. Of course, the pentatonic major is the same as the pentatonic minor. So C pentatonic major, it's the same as me saying a pentatonic minor. I almost kind of didn't want to put both of those because it's obvious. Reason I think maybe it's a good idea is because some people happen to name it one thing and I didn't want to confuse anyone. Make it simple for everybody. Love Chuck. He goes, chocolate. He sounds like Julia Child. You know, Julia Child shares my birthday. Remember that movie? Also, how awesome was Cyndi Lauper's vocal performance for that song they had for the Goonies? I loved it. I loved Cyndi Lauper anyway. But that was a really cool movie. I used to like that. I did. However, the green screen work sucked. It's pretty horrible. I don't know why these kids decided to go up in the attic. I like that they had these traps. Now here's something interesting. The blues scale. You could play A blues. And that is also going to contain your A minor. But there's something really unique here. Everybody assumes that blues means you could also play the minor pentatonic, and you can. But guess what? If we go to the 6th, meaning the F sharp, that's a blues scale, but it's not a minor you cannot play F sharp minor pentatonic because it doesn't contain an A minor chord. But the F sharp blues scale does contain an A minor chord. When you think blues, your ear hears your root as this note, and it's one of your resolving notes. You hear that in the 5, and maybe even the minor third is a resolving note. But in this case, the minor third would be a root note for the chord. The tritone, your blues note, would be actually a good note to land on for the A minor chord. And so would the A minor's E, which is our flat 7. So these are really strange feeling resolution tones over blues of F sharp blues. So there's an option maybe you haven't ever seen before. My favorite kid was that Asian kid. What the hell was his name? Short Round, right? He used to go around and cause trouble with his little boxing glove that shot out. That kid was awesome because he had gadgets, and I think gadgets are fun. You could also play Hungarian minor. If you don't remember what that is, it's just easiest way is to take your harmonic minor and then raise the 4th, make it like a tritone. Any minor chord on the root of the chord, you could play Hungarian minor. Now, here's another interesting thing. Remember what we did earlier with the harmonic major on the 5 and the sharp 5? This has something similar. You could go up a half step above your chord root and play the Hungarian minor there. So you could go a half step, you go. You'll also go up to the 3rd and you can play Hungarian minor there. So this would be C sharp Hungarian minor. I don't know the song, something like that, but you know, it's like, next time, Gadget. And some guy was very upset in a spacecraft with a fat cat, and the cat seemed more animated than the guy who had the cat. I think that cat kind of controlled everything. Or maybe the cat was like the underlying factor that upset that enemy guy. I don't know who, I don't remember his name. I'm sure he had a name. Remember, with any of these, you have to make sure you're phrasing in a way where you're resolving probably to a chord tone on a strong beat. If you don't, it's going to sound a little bit weird anyway. So it's not always about just saying, oh, I just don't think this chord works with the scale. That's not always the case. A lot of times you just don't know how to phrase to the chord properly, even if you're using an unusual scale. There's only one more, and this is the same as the major triad. Whenever we had an A major triad or any major triad, you could play the diminished half whole step right on it, like that. Same thing if you play minor. Any minor chord has a diminished half whole step right on it. So that's the end of the overview for the minor triad. We went through every possible option of a scale that you could ever play over this. So after you're done doing your truffle shuffle and you've been practicing your guitar for a while and you're trying to escape from sloth in the basement, maybe consider some of these different scale options for a chord. I mean, I'm giving you the basics. We give you a major chord so far. Now this is a minor chord. It's as simple as that. Those chords are in basically every song you'll ever find. If you can't find a minor or a major triad in a song, I don't know what the hell kind of weird song you're playing. So this stuff works over anything. So any song you've ever encountered, you could pick one of the chords, and it's a major or minor, whichever, and say, I'm going to try one of these oddball scales that I haven't used before, just to see what it sounds like, and give it a shot and see what happens. Listen, you guys ever play that Goonies video game where you take a yo-yo or something, boomerang or something? Was it a yo-yo? I forget. I used to play it, and I thought it was awesome when I was a kid, and I recently played it again, and I think, I don't know if it's not as awesome or something. I like there was an aspect where it's kind of like 3D, where you could go into a room. It reminded me of that other game, that Friday the 13th game, where you're at that camp and you throw rocks and they arc like in a stupid way above the enemies. It's like your guys can't throw rocks properly. I always remember that part where Jason Voorhees would get upset and he'd come through that water like real fast. He'd go, and he'd be booking his ass through that lake real quick, and you're trying to get away with the boat, and you're like, I can't get away, like he's coming real quick and I'm in a boat. So he just kills you repeatedly. It's a fun game, but it gave me panic attacks. Like I'd go into the cabin and it'd be like dun, 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 and you'd be thinking, I'm gonna turn this corner and he's gonna be right there and I'm gonna scream, and that's what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna look like a bitch. And so what happens, of course, you're in the cabin alone and you're like looking for those camp counselor kids or something. I don't even know what you're doing. But you turn the corner and there's like a fireplace, and then you turn around and you're confused and lost because it's not really 3D and it's all jacked up and you can't see where you're going. And then the next thing you know, it's like you see him on the screen with some kind of knife or something and he's coming. It's kind of terrifying when you're a little kid. I used to go out to the woods. I don't know. I messed up the game once. I went out to the woods and I found some kind of secret place. I think I killed his mother. And I think that really pissed him off. So if you're playing that old game, try to let me know. I don't know what I sucked at the game. So I don't know if I was supposed to kill his mother, if that's a bad idea. Was it like the movie where he was really the mother? Like what is going on? That movie, Throw Momma from the Train? That was a good movie. I like the part where he said it's like the Flintstones car wash. Anyway, that's a whole other lesson. I'm not going to screw on with it. I'm not going to make this extra long and confusing. Nobody wants that. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Remember to subscribe. Go to ultimatepicking.com to check out my picking program I made. That thing's pretty awesome. Catch you next time. We're going to cut that. That sucks. That's a bunch of shit. We're going to cut it.